Welcome to another exciting episode of the $1 Million Peddlers. I'm Paperboy.
I'm Mr. Magazine.
And it's the Hump Day Happy Hour Salute. And tonight we enjoyed Fireball, and we're also enjoying the company of a special guest. Why don't you introduce yourself, special guest?
I'm Jason Denlinger of Vintage View Antiques.
And you specialize in?
I specialize in cameras and vintage photographs.
See, and I just learned something new. I didn't know you sold cameras. I knew you sold the photographs, but I didn't know you sold the cameras.
Cameras I actually started this business with.
Oh.
Yeah, cool.
What are the, we see up here, because we're up in Rochester. So there was a company back in the day called Kodak. I don't know if you've ever heard of that or
I've
not.
heard of them, yeah.
Yeah. Used to be a company back in the day. And we would regularly find brownies and things like that. Do those have value anymore? Or they're
worth like $10.
Okay. So
they're $10 cameras.
Okay. So that's about where they were when we were buying them.
Yep. Because there were millions of them made. Millions.
Right. And welcome Flip and Rue, a fellow seller over there in Fossil Forward Finds. Welcome.
Hi, Rue.
Jazzy Jess in the house. How's it going? Delightful Don's always here. And we got everyone's in the house.
There we go. And so let me, we always start our show off. Well, first I've got a bone to pick with you, my friend. I got a bone to pick with you. Yeah, you. Yeah, you. Don't look all surprised. So yesterday I tuned in. You were on a raid train, the Shopaholic raid train. And our good friend Schmidt Auctions made a comment in there saying that you were going to be on the $1 Million Peddlers tonight. And you said, yeah, I'm on some YouTube show tomorrow. Now that is some salesmanship.
That sounds so me. So I did at some point mention $1 Million Peddlers.
All right. I'm going, wow, what do we chop liver?
Aaron's in the house. How's it going, buddy? Oh, Don has a question for Aaron.
Oh, what part of the country is there? You go.
We're taking a little bit of rest and relaxation right now, I think.
All right, we're going to talk about sales. How are your sales, my friend?
Well, it's the summer slowdown. So sales are slow across the board. Most of my business is online. So from mid-May until mid to late August, online sales are slow. It's like clockwork. It happens every year, yet every year we act like we're surprised and we're distraught over low sales. It sucks. It does. It sucks. But it's expected. People are outside doing things. People are having fun. People are not sitting at home, usually on their, computers or on their phones buying stuff. They just aren't.
No, absolutely. How about you, Mr. Magazine? How are your sales?
eBay's making a comeback. I had some decent sales last 3 or 4 days. Amazon's still up about 25% with the repricer. Our adult website is actually doing better now. We had an offer app on there, Make Offer. And for some reason, our sales tanked with this. I think people were trying to buy everything cheap. We did away with the offers, and now our sales are back up and then some. The DVD site's solid, and the new adult site I'm on is we're doing well. I think we did over 5,000 the first month.
Wow.
just by experimenting with what's going to sell on there. So very good. How about you?
I'm glad you asked. First, I did want to note we are limited time with our guests today. We have a hard out 1 hour in. He did make that very, very clear. And no green M&Ms, he said as well, which I think we.
Eric's in the house. How's it going?
Yeah, with big impressions indeed. Best. This week is sad. Yep, absolutely. Thursday last week was terrible over on eBay, but there wasn't a lot of news about this, but I guess Google and Amazon and a bunch of other places all crashed last Thursday. The middle of the afternoon, they were all down. So that tends to hurt your sales. I picked up over the weekend. Monday, Tuesday, today, terrible. I'm selling 3 items a day, and I got 30,000 listed on eBay. Absolutely brutal. Going on right now. Whatnot is actually the only thing keeping me afloat right now. So, well, I mean, not literally, but you know what I'm saying. I'm not that bad off, but it's the only thing that's making any sales right now. Everything else is down. I did sell 5 items on Etsy last week, but that's heading on down. Now, where else do you sell? Do you just sell? I know you sell Facebook. So
I sell on Facebook. I have my own private Facebook group that people are able to join. It's a small group, only 300 and something people in it. But they're all serious. They're either my personal friends or they're serious photo buyers. It's just me selling. So it's not dealing with a bunch of other people that you don't know or anything like that. It's all me. So it's a legit business. I'm licensed. I'm insured, all that jazz.
Yeah.
So yeah, at least you know who you're dealing with when you're buying in that group. Facebook is like the Wild West. There's so many scammers on there and everything that it's nice for people to have a spot to go buy good photos and not have to deal with all that.
Right. Now you sell on eBay and that or no?
I do. Like this week, Facebook was kind of giving me fits. And they made it so that I could not see anyone commenting to buy my photos. People were commenting to buy, but I was not able to see it. And then those people, like all of their comments, registered on every photo in the post. It was a huge, really bad glitch. And that made me do an entire day of eBay listing. So I put a bunch of photos. I put like 40 or 50 photos up on eBay. Sold one for $500, which is nice, you know. And then I've got a bunch of others. A couple already have bids that I put up for auction. So, I mean, looks like eBay will do okay for me this week too. But I rarely prior to that, I had not listed anything in 3 months.
Okay.
But you got to be able to jump ship if the ship is sinking like Facebook was and do something else because this is a full-time job.
Yeah. Found out eBay was adding coupons to some of my listings. Also, their local pickups seem to be limited to 5 miles from what was in the description.
Jeez.
Well, actually, I don't know, 5 miles seems a little bit low, but that's not a bad thing because we've all had the thing where the guy in Washington clicks on local pickup because he's trying to save on shipping. And then you're like, are you coming out here? Well, no, just send it to me.
Eric, are you referring to ceramic jugs or silicone jugs?
All righty. How about buys? Now, where do you get most of your inventory from?
Honestly, probably 60 to 75% of what I buy is dealer old stock buyouts.
Okay.
I will buy out an entire photo dealer's booth or all of their old stock. I'll buy it all. The good, the bad, the ugly.
Right.
And then, you know, it's old stock to them. It's new stock to me.
Right.
It just kind of goes round and round. But I also have started getting a lot more brought into my antique store. I have advertisements in the antiques newspaper that's local, plus in the other local papers. So I have advertisements out there for people to call me if they have collections and whatnot.
Cool.
And where would that store be?
That's in Denver, Pennsylvania. The mighty metropolis of Denver, Pennsylvania. I think there's all of 1,000 people in this town. The only thing on Main Street is me. So, yeah.
How about you, Mr. Magazine? What are you buying?
I have not bought much this week. I think I bought those vintage toys last week, the G.I. Joes and the Evel Knievels. But other than that, I'm lying low trying to save up some money.
There's nothing wrong with that. And of course, with my sales down, I'm buying because you got to do something to pass the time. I'm not spending the time packing, so I might as well spend the time doing something.
True.
If you're not selling well, you got to buy well.
There you go. I did spend $28 at a couple of estate sales, which I actually did a haul video behind the paywall on, including a book. I've ascertained that the book was from the 1700s. Nice old book from the 1700s. Picked it up for $8. Can't argue with that. You can't lose money on 1,700 books from for $8. I did go to the flea market. I thought it was going to be really, really good because it's Father's Day, nice weather. Place has terrible drainage, and it was still a swamp. So half the spots were all rained out still and everything like that. I did spend $221. Picked up some interesting things, and also did a haul video of that behind the paywall. And today I did go back to the mystery book house. So I got into a house courtesy of another dealer. He bought what he wanted out of it. Published author, passed away. His personal collection. I say 2,000 books. I'm probably on the low side. It's probably more like 4,000 books, something like that. 99% mystery books. So what I've worked out with the family is I'm coming every week and grabbing 5 to 10 boxes worth of books from them, giving them some money for it, and I'll be putting those up over on Whatnot. So if you're if you need some mystery reading, I've got about 40 weeks worth of auctions going to be coming out of that house. So
Oh, wow.
that's going to be a lot of mystery books. So, but I've never done one of those, the mystery book auction before. So I'm thinking it should be, and we were talking before the show a little bit about that. Again, it's all about getting new buyers. And one way you get new buyers is you set up in different little niches and different little areas.
Yep. Well, yeah, I do a mystery show once a month, a mystery photo show once a month, and it gets me new buyers, and it does really, really well. People love it.
Yeah. So yeah, should be interesting. So I'll be doing Saturday auctions for that as well. And then tomorrow I'm going to be apparently buying those postcards that last week. I'll tell you this, one guy called me over, old dealer, had all these postcards. He wanted his price on it. I looked at them all. I said, I'll give you this for it. He goes, I don't want to sell them for that. I said, you got a garage sale in your neighborhood this weekend. Set them up at the garage sale, sell what you can. I'll buy whatever doesn't sell. Fair enough. He calls me. You got to buy the postcards from me. I go, all right. How many did you sell at the thing? I did really well at the garage sale. I didn't sell any postcards. I'm like, well, that tells you their value, doesn't it? So I'm pretty sure he's going to be selling to me for my price at this point, because he now knows that there isn't a huge market around that he can move the stuff for. So, and I'm sure you're in the same boat too. You don't need to buy at this point.
Right.
And that's a tremendous advantage. How big of a backstock would you say that you have?
I probably have at least a solid 6 months of selling. I could not buy anything for 6 months and still should be able to maintain and bring in the same income month after month for 6 months.
All right. I'm at about 5 years and he's at about 10 years worth of backstock.
Yeah.
So.
I'm nowhere near that far. And I always have this fear in the back of my mind when I get under, like, if I ever get under 3 or 4 months of backstock, that I'm like, oh, what if I hit a drought? You know, if you hit a drought, you got to buy.
That's how I am. I think I got 3 or 4 years ago. Oh my God, I need more than that.
At this point, I'm probably not going to hit a drought at this point, especially not selling 3 items a day. I'm not going to hit a drought for quite a while. I can revise my old listings. All right, glitch of the week. You were mentioning Facebook being the glitch there for you.
Yeah.
Geez. We had well, you and I both had the same glitch, my friend, at the Ephemerama. Neither of us were aware that there was a theme.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, wait, there's a theme?
So apparently
I had no clue.
There was a Juneteenth theme, and as I'm watching the show, and
I had no clue.
More and more people are putting up things tying the Juneteenth and go, I put this up to keep with the theme. I put this up to keep with the theme. I said, oh, shoot.
Oops.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other glitch of the week there, if you list NASCAR race tickets on eBay, if it's pre-2000, Mr. Magazine,
okay,
the item specific will tell you, it'll say like 1993 for item specific.
Mm-hmm.
If it's post-2000, for some reason, eBay's AI hasn't figured out that 2002 is a year. So it does not offer an item specific year. You have to manually enter that in. Why? How hard is that programming to know that 2002 is a year? Oh, Eric has a question for you. Have you seen Jerry Garcia live?
I have. 1994 Nassau Coliseum.
Nice.
There you go. There you go. You've gone to other Dead concerts as well?
Lots of other Dead concerts. Well, lots of Dead after Jerry.
After Jerry.
I still go. We were just, my wife and I went out to the Sphere this year to see them. And yeah, we're Deadheads.
I've heard that's an unbelievable experience.
Oh, it's wild. It's not the same scene as a normal Dead show. It doesn't have the same vibe and the same feel as a normal Dead show, but just the spectacle of it all is just nuts. It's absolutely nuts.
Is that because it's Vegas?
I think it's because it's Vegas, yeah. And it's not like a sprawling lot scene or anything like that. It's very contained. It's very monitored and stuff. So yeah, it's not the same kind of a lot scene as the normal dead lot scene.
But it's fun nonetheless.
Oh yeah, tons of fun nonetheless. I would go again, you know.
There you go. Oh, and we did put up the picture of the cat mags over on Million Dollar Peddlers, our YouTube channel over there. You got a lot of very, very positive feedback.
good,
Everybody
cool,
loves the cat. So just to let you know.
I'm a big fan.
There you go. Big site change. Etsy will no longer allow 3D prints unless you created it, and you can't do PDFs of old stuff unless you created it. So people were buying or putting all the public domain images and all that stuff together and selling it to the junk journalists. That's not allowed anymore. I don't know if you saw that or not. I guess they just don't want that stuff on their site anymore because I guess, 14 people in a row bought the same pattern to use a 3D printer and they're all printing the same stuff out. So they don't want that anymore on their site because they feel it's cheap Chinese junk on the site is I guess what they feel. So
well,
probably is cheap Chinese junk on the
yeah, exactly.
I did have a quick question for you on this over here. I don't know if you can see this or not. It's a small image. Is there a name for something like this? It's like a CDV size, but it's got a small image affixed one way or another to it. Is there a
I'm
name?
trying to see it. It just looks like almost like a minette photo, which are a smaller board mounted photo that are later than the CDVs. They're just like a miniature cabinet photo, essentially.
Okay, so a minette would be what you, how do you,
MINETTE. It's a similar style of photo. It might not be that exact brand, but it was the style of photo, a minette.
Oh, okay.
I got a question since he's bringing that stuff up. Years ago, I picked up a massive collection of AP wire photos.
Mm-hmm.
It was 1940s, 50s, a lot of golf ones and stuff. I had some good ones. I sold, the best golf ones back then, but I still have like Charles Manson, Hitler, stuff like that. Can you sell those anywhere, or would you be interested in maybe trading for adult stuff or something like that?
I mean, yeah, there's definitely a platform for them. I have a few people that would buy things along that line, especially things like Charles Manson and stuff like that. Hitler, not as much. I mean, that's kind of a,
Sure. I hear you.
that's one of those gray areas. I just personally don't, and it's not that they don't have any value. It's just that I don't have the customers for them.
Sure.
But things like Charles Manson and murder, they love murderers,
Yeah, sure. Yeah, but I got a ton of them. Maybe I can send you a list what I got, and if you're interested, we could do a trade or something.
Definitely.
Cool. Very good.
Do they sell? Okay. Oh yeah, no. Those I actually would put over. Those actually sell on Amazon. The Life magazines. Yep. If you sell on Amazon, put the Life magazines on Amazon. The only thing you got to
you get killed on shipping.
I was just going to say you got to watch the shipping on them. So don't do the race to the bottom because some of them you only get $3.99 shipping on. And so if somebody's charging $6.01, if somebody in California buys it or the other side of the country, you'll actually lose money.
Yeah.
So get your price, whether it's $10, $12, make that be your minimum price no matter what, and you'll be okay. Or Don will buy them all. There you go. All right, item of the week. Nice photo over here. I'm sure you run into it's a little hard to see here. Let me see. There we
Looks like a early film actress.
Yep, and it came here with the MGM Studios envelope over here.
Oh, nice.
Marion Davies, and it's autographed. Now, I don't know if you come across things like that regularly within your business.
I do.
Yep.
And depending on who it is, you got to actually research the autograph because sometimes the autograph will be worth more than the photo, of course. So it really depends on who it is. But it's a gorgeous photo. Just without the autograph, I'd get half decent money for that photo.
People on eBay are getting about, for her autograph, now putting the value on the autograph, not on the photo, about 75 to 1 1/4 is what the autograph is worth.
Well, then that's probably about what the photo would end up being worth because that ends up trumping the value of the photo. It's not $100 photo, but if the autograph's $100 autograph, then that it becomes a the photo doesn't really add a ton of value to the autograph.
Okay.
Oh,
Cool.
you can't just add them up?
Wouldn't it be nice if you could just keep stacking them?
But I thought you'd enjoy that over there for the item of the week over there.
I love some beautiful silent film ladies.
Oh yeah. Yep. No, that actually was in a box of stuff that I bought from a different house. Didn't even know it was in there. It was just I grabbed the box, opened the top, saw some old photos like that, the old movie star ones, and I go, I'm going to take the box. And got home and found that one was signed in there. The others weren't signed. They were the publicity photos sent out by the studios, but that one was actually signed. So once in a while, you get lucky.
Bonus.
Absolutely. Insulting offer of the week. Mr. Magazine had a German gay interest magazine called Manner from 2011 asking $80.23 in the magazine. He got a $5 offer on it, but the kicker, the person put a little note in there. My offer includes free shipping.
You banned them. That's really
I
good. Quite a
did ban
favorite.
Oh my God. Yeah, I'd be like, let's block you.
And I think they're oversized too. It's like, probably a 3-pound magazine. It's crazy.
I had a Nancy. I'm sure you read the comic strip Nancy. You didn't laugh at it.
Oh, yeah.
But you read the comic strip Nancy back in the day. I had a piece of Nancy original art. I was asking $64.23, which actually is on the low side for that. I got a $25 offer from the person. I countered them at $54, and I said, we appear to be worlds apart on this one-of-a-kind item. So a subtle little dig to them that, no, I'm not selling it for $25. And Mr. Magazine had a Jack Nicklaus Sportsman PSA 9. No, I don't collect golf carts. He was asking $14,406 on it.
It's a consignment piece.
He got a $2,075 offer on it. Now that's asking a bit of a cut there to ask $14,000 down to $2,000.
Well, that's definitely a cut.
Countdown to Brimfield. Have you ever been to Brimfield?
I have. Only once. It's not my kind of thing. I'm too chill for Brimfield. It's too cutthroat. It's too elbowing people to get stuff, and it just wasn't my scene. I much prefer Madison Bachville.
Are you going to be going to Madison this year?
Not this year. I have concerts planned.
Okay.
I go to concerts all summer long, pretty much.
I just was driving by the Kodak Theater, and Boz Scaggs is just coming to concert here
Tonight? That's why there was a...
No, not tonight.
There was a crowd
November
tonight.
10th.
Okay.
So my wife is younger than me. You met my wife before. She was the camera lady. And I said to her, because I was driving, I said, text me Boz Scaggs November 10th. I want to look into the tickets for it. I get to the restaurant. I look at her. She texted me November 10th, ass hags. I go, what? What is ass hags? She goes, well, I didn't know what name you told me, so I just put in what it sounded like.
Close enough. You knew what she meant.
So maybe we'll be seeing ass hags. December.
That might be a better band.
Very well, maybe. I don't know. So I actually did a $150 for the tickets. Oof. I don't know about that. It is a smaller venue, but
you don't even want to know what I spend a year on concert tickets.
So $150 is reasonable.
Yeah, I spend 5 figures a year on concert tickets, just on concert tickets.
Wow. But have you seen tags?
But I see like Dead and Company. Those were $400 or $500 a ticket. I'm doing the VIP thing down in Kentucky at this big metal fest. They were like $1,000 a ticket. So it's like, if I'm going to spend money, that's what I spend money on is concerts. Right. I don't buy anything for myself other than live music.
Right. Okay.
I do VIP for ass hags. I pay the extra amount. Yeah.
I could buy seats in, I think, the third row for $2,500. I'm like, no, it's not that important to me. Don't need to be that close.
I did something like that for Tool. Tool is my favorite band, and I did like $1,000 a ticket for like fourth row, and got to meet the band and everything. Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Wow, that is awesome.
It's probably in my top 10.
Wow. You only live once. There you are. That's
it.
absolutely true. Absolutely true. Oh, I don't know if you've come to my shows. You've come to a few of my shows, right? Just say yes.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I love them. Say I love them. Yeah.
I was trying to read the chat, but it's so small on my phone that I'm like,
So it's time for everybody's favorite. It's time for the Confucius joke of the week. Now, are you ready to laugh? Make sure you're sitting down. Make sure you're sitting down. So a robber called the bank on the telephone and said, "Hello, bank. This is a stick-up. Mail me $20,000." He called the bank.
Yeah.
This is a stick-up.
Yeah.
Mail me $20,000. And that was the Confucius Say joke of the day. Make sure you stop by any of my auctions at 20 past the hour, and you will get a joke probably as funny as that. So, now you're going to be stopping by all the time, aren't you? So customer issues. Do you have problems with problem customers or not really? Probably not, because you're
not a whole lot, because I'm very selective of who I let into my group. I screen everybody who's coming in, just first of all to make sure they're a real person. I kind of check out their history and everything. I'm very selective because I don't want to deal with drama. I do everything that I can in my life to alleviate stress. I don't want any stress in my life other than stress that I create for myself. Right. So, I get rid of all of it.
Well, actually, somebody or other wanted to cancel an order, found better price on eBay. I actually have to take my hat off to them if I ever wore a hat, because they were actually being honest. They said someone else accepted my offer before you. That at least is being honest.
Right.
A lot of times found better price, but this person actually explained what he did.
Yeah.
But I guess my question is, you are entering into a binding contract when the offer is accepted. So you're entering into 5 binding contracts and you're only keeping one of them?
See, but the thing you have to worry about as the seller is, will they make a stink? Is it worth it? Is it worth the hassle? That's what I look at. I'm like, refund, there you go, take it, goodbye, next, block, and I'll never deal with them again.
Yep.
Anyone who has like a cancellation or anything like that with me, other than for like a major real reason,
right.
If it's just something stupid, blocked, canceled, done,
Yeah. I had a guy buy an 1860 magazine, Leslie's magazine from me, sent it out to him. He's returning it. Reason for return: I bought it by mistake.
How's that happen?
Yeah, you accidentally clicked and bought a magazine from 1860.
Yeah, because you have to go through a bunch of steps to make that happen.
What was that one I sent you about the kid's father or something?
Yeah, there was one on here. Mr. Magazine got somebody asking him on Amazon. Again, I ask if you'd consider a more fair price of $20 for this. It has a story about my dead brother in it. Now, I don't want to be callous by any means whatsoever, but it's not like he's asking $500 on it. You're asking $30 on it.
And it's either the only one or the cheapest one on Amazon because we use a repricer. So either which way, he's getting the best deal around on it.
Yeah, it's trying to nickel and dime on that. No, don't tug on the heartstrings on that.
Yeah, if you really care, then spend a couple extra dollars. I mean,
nicely trying to say that. Yeah. All right, we're gonna play a little game here. Are you ready? I'm gonna read you something that Mr. Magazine got, and I want you to tell me when you would stop that you do not want to sell to this person, or you may want to sell to him. All right, you ready? The item is a Gangster 1. What is that? Is some Star Wars action figure? Gangster?
Yeah.
Gangster 1 action figure from Star Wars. Question number 1. Are you the original owner? Okay. Question 2. Has this figure been stored in a smoke-free environment?
Okay.
Question. Is the figure also from a pet-free environment? Question 4. Do you ship in a box, an envelope, or soft padded mailer? Question 5. How do you pack your items? Do you use bubble wrap or other packing materials?
Yeah. Honestly, I'd have probably stopped at the first question, but I just wanted to hear what else they said.
Question 6. What happens if the item arrives damaged? Question 7. Do you offer free return shipping? Question 8. What condition is the figure's bubble and card in?
Yeah, I'd probably stopped at, are you the first owner of it?
Another one, another figure. He wanted to combine them too. I'm like, no shot.
Now, a couple of the other ones are legit. I get smoke free. I get that.
Right,
even pet free. Although I'm a pet person. But a lot of that other stuff, it's like, really, dude?
Because I've had them ask, especially the vintage stuff, is the package yellow? Is it bubble yellowed? Like, that's a common question where I could see that in there.
Yeah, that's a fair question.
Yeah, but that's not even in
but
there.
Usually they should be able to see that on your photos, right?
Not on Amazon.
They use a stock photo sometimes.
Stock photos.
Oh, they use stock photos. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's
but that's a nightmare waiting to happen.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Given that, what happens if it arrives damaged, and do you offer free return shipping? Somebody's
looking to, someone's looking to cause trouble.
Yeah. And then the question,
how much were they? $20 maybe? Not even. Yeah.
But then the question comes in, how many people will sell to him given that spiel? I'm thinking if he bought for me, I'll take the hit on the Amazon account. It's out of stock. Sorry. And then not relist it for a while. Because again, it's not going to end well. It's simply not going to end well. So one thing that I realized the other day over on eBay, do you ever buy the extra insurance?
We do some. We haven't lately just because we had that one expensive item overseas get lost, and we're on the hook for about $500. So we do now if it's like 300, 350 or more.
Yep. With the ship cover insurance, you'll automatically, if you ship anything for more than $100, you'll have a screen come up saying you can buy ship cover insurance, and it's $3.17 and blah blah blah. But here's the thing: it'll come up on an item that you sold for $110. Well, you've got $100 worth of shipping insurance coverage anyway. So it's like, do I want to pay $3.17 for $10 worth of coverage?
No.
I'll take the risk on that one myself. So something to think about. Figure out in your head if you're selling on there what price you're comfortable eating. Maybe it's $80, so anything above $180. Maybe it's this, it's that. Nobody cares. Work harder. There you go.
I'm trying to word it around my house so my wife and kids couldn't understand, but it doesn't seem to kick in.
Well, your kids can't read.
No, that's true.
I don't know if you were mentioning before the show that you're moving into the vintage decor over on. What are you selling?
Yeah, I've started in vintage decor because I'm not just a photo dealer. I have an antique store. I have my own actual antique store. So I get all kinds of stuff coming in. I used to do storage auctions and buy storage units. So I have other stuff too. And then I've got the vintage cameras as well. And I've started putting some of the vintage cameras up there, and I've been selling them like crazy. I sold 6 in my last show, 6 vintage cameras. So yeah, the cameras have been doing well, and the smalls, I'm sticking with smalls because I don't want to deal with crazy shipping on whatnot. So I'm dealing with stuff that I can keep. I could put everything in my entire auction in a 12 by 12 box, so no matter what they buy, I'm good.
Do you ship in a box, an envelope, or a soft padded mailer?
It depends on what I'm shipping. Asking
for a friend. I don't know if you were aware of this or not, and you may need to know this at some point as well, Mr. Magazine. If you've got your decor or auction going up, you got whatever auction going up. If you list a book as part of that auction, but your main category for your show is decor or records or whatever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it doesn't matter with records because that's media anyway. But your toy auction, if you list a book in there and then you make the that book be in the book section, media mail actually does come up as an option for the buyer. I don't know if you're aware
Okay.
of that. You could have a mixed.
I'm not, but I never use media mail. I mean, it's only a little bit cheaper and it's much poorer quality. I'd rather just ship it, either first class or ground advantage or priority.
Right. Yeah. And I do media because I do a fair number of book auctions. So one of the,
if you're selling, I almost never sell books.
Yeah. So one of the trains, I put a book in just because I'm like, oh, fit in with this train. And I listed it under the book category. And sure enough, that one, they did get media mail on that. So that's kind
nice.
of good to know. So, because I was worried that the top line, what you set your show up in, took care of the entire show, but it does not work that way. So good to know. Good to know on that. All right. You ready to have some more fun?
Uh-oh.
So every once in a while, we do an eating challenge over here. And Mr. Magazine gets to choose which one he wants. Now, have you traveled the world?
I have a bit.
Have you ever been somewhere where they have quail eggs?
Yes, I have.
There you go. And Mr. Magazine gets to choose whether he wants, you can help him because you've had quail eggs before. You were, in fact, the quail egg master. Should he get stewed quail egg or salt-baked quail egg? Which one should Mr. Magazine choose?
I don't know what the first one is. Salt baked. That's maybe
Stewed or salt-baked?
I'm trying to stewed. I mean, salt baked is going to be just salty, probably like a salty hard-boiled egg.
I'm coming off a 60-hour fast where I just drink water, so I don't know what I should be. What is going to be better for me?
Probably.
I'd do that stewed, definitely.
And I would say the salt because of the water. So it's your choice. Salt. Is this a stew? If you want to look at them, don't those look good?
I don't know. I don't know if salt. Can I just swallow it?
You can do whatever you want. It's
Where
your
do you
show.
find this? I don't want to use it.
You gotta chew it.
Oh, it's soft. It's like a goober. No, actually, goobers are harder. What is this
All
like?
right, I get the salt baked one.
Oh, have you had one before?
I have had the stewed. I'm glad that you picked the salt baked, or you picked the stewed, and I get the salt baked. Oh, okay. Doesn't that look good?
This is ridiculous. This is really ridiculous. I mean, I don't deserve this.
You ready?
If it sucks, I'm just swallowing. I'm going to be honest.
All right, ready?
I don't have enough water to even. All right.
Wow, he is a fan of stewed eggs. That is very, very salty.
It tastes like something I've eaten before, though. Like nothing. What the hell does it taste like? A bad egg? Brown egg? I don't know.
So there we go.
It wasn't bad. I mean, I wouldn't want it for every day.
You wouldn't order
it? No.
All right.
All I want to know is why didn't I get one mailed to me?
I'll ship it in a box, an envelope, or a soft padded mailer. You let me know your preference.
Oh, let's see. We got some input here. Kelly, gross.
That was pretty gross.
I was expecting worse. I'm going to be honest.
You might have picked the better one.
It's like a goober. It looked like a goober, but it was definitely softer than a goober.
That is true. Did you see Mr. Magazine made a major purchase he didn't tell us about? I guess you didn't see this.
I didn't see it.
The Los Angeles Lakers were sold for $10 billion today. So I'm surprised he's spending the time with us today. So
yeah, busy beaver.
But yeah, $10 billion for the Lakers.
Wow, that's a record.
That is a record. Yep. I
mean, I guess that makes the Yankees worth more. The Cowboy, all these top teams have to be worth because they're close to the Lakers at this. See, they're both they're all evaluated at $5-6 billion.
Yeah.
Now they're definitely worth more.
Yeah, they're worth more. Yeah.
Yeah.
Boy, that egg is terrible.
You guys are feeling it from those eggs.
Yeah.
You got to do the thing, Eric, where you take the sardines, you put it right on the bread, you freeze it, and then you bring it to the track and eat it the next day. There you go. A lot of fun there. Did you see the AOL story about Whatnot?
No.
Yeah, AOL did a big story about Whatnot. It is within the top 15 free apps on Apple in the Apple Store. And it is the #1 app in the shopping category.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Well,
Wow.
I've seen advertisements for Whatnot,
Oh, really?
TV ads and stuff like that, and
Hmm.
so yeah, they're pushing it.
They did. Where was it? Here, I got to find my spot here. $3 billion in goods in 2024. So site is growing. They said in the ad that one of their fears was eBay. eBay Live was one of their fears.
But I don't think eBay Live is that good. I haven't even looked at it.
I think eBay Live. I think the problem that they're making is, and let's be honest, at one point, Whatnot did have the Wild West type reputation, and I think eBay wants to avoid that. But I think they're going too far to avoid that. I think they're just, I don't know how many people are allowed to sell on there, but if you've got 100 people that are allowed to sell on there, it's not going to take off.
No, because there's not enough. There's not enough variety.
Right. Exactly. So I think that they need to, if eBay really wanted to do it, and they've been working on that for 3 years or whatever. They've been working on the eBay Live.
Well, eventually they'll just buy Whatnot.
They only allow a few sellers.
Wow.
Yep.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yep.
Wow.
Only a few sellers. Yep. If you have ad blocker, YouTube is apparently throttling videos for you and making things tough to watch. So you have to turn off your ad blocker. YouTube is not happy about that. They can't advertise things to you. They're not getting revenue, I guess. Did you see the Krishna Kanwal painting of the young Dalai Lama from 1940? Went for $207,573. 15 times the prior high.
It'd be nice to find that at a yard sale.
Yeah, right. And did you see the photo coming up for auction with Abraham Lincoln?
I don't think so.
Well,
there's a huge photo auction at Christie's, but I didn't see Abraham Lincoln in there.
It's Abraham Lincoln and his son Tad, and they're looking at a book together, and it's actually signed by Abraham Lincoln.
Wow.
Okay.
They expect to get $60,000 to $90,000 on that.
That's it. It's so crazy. You get those stupid cards, one of 50s of
go for millions.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
Yeah, when you come from that world, from the sports card world, it does make it seem like only $60,000 for a signed Abraham Lincoln photo.
Yeah,
right.
Perfect provenance too.
Yeah, it's a one of one of one of the most famous people in the history of the world. Where these rookie quarterbacks got some that are 80, 100, 200,000, a million.
Yeah, no,
Crazy.
Absolutely
Crazy.
And make sure you stop by Friday. I know you will if you don't have shows going on. Mysterious Benefactor will be here at 10 a.m. For a special live show, and an auction professor will be here at 7:30 p.m. for a special live show as well. When are your shows over on Whatnot?
Well, my next show is Friday morning at 8 a.m. in the vintage decor section. And then, honestly, I couldn't even tell you off the top of my head. I have to look at my schedule every day. But typically every Monday and Wednesday, I have a show. Okay. I've started shifting my Monday shows to early morning. Monday, I'm going to be running shows at either 7:30 or 8 o'clock in the morning. Wow. And then my Wednesday show is 6 p.m. Eastern time. And then my Friday show is 8 a.m. in vintage decor. So those are my 3 days that I run.
How is attendance in the morning shows?
Honestly, the morning shows for vintage decor, I normally have anywhere from 25 to 40 people in the show at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
So I have a pretty good attendance.
Yeah. No, because I know Mr. Magazine. When were you trying the shows that you didn't have a lot of success at?
I think we were trying 1 to 3.
Oh, okay, early afternoon.
Maybe 12 to 2, something like that. Right now.
Okay.
Well, what's nice about morning is there's very little competition. Very little competition, and there are plenty of early birds out there. So if they're just sitting there drinking their coffee, they got Whatnot up, they're doing a couple of swipes, and next thing you know, they spent their paycheck.
Nice.
eBay Open 25. Are you going to that, Mr. Magazine?
I haven't pulled the trigger. I don't know.
The tickets are now coming up on the Seller Hub.
I got my invite, but I'm not going to that.
I would have gone if they gave more than a month and a half notice. If they'd given 3-4 months notice, like people need, I probably would have worked it out to go. Because the thing is, it's the same week as Madison Bachville.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
I definitely go to Madison Bachville.
Yeah, and I had hotels set up and all that stuff. Now, if they had set it up earlier, for that same week, but earlier, I'd work around. I'd have hotels different days. I'd still hit Madison Bachville, but I hit it at a different time. But I'm not going to sit there and, bail on my hotel and try to get my money back, just go out to Vegas for eBay Open.
Right.
So, I went there in 2019. It was great. I learned a lot from it. I would be going this year, but I can't do it on that short notice. And that's one thing eBay definitely has to realize is people work, people have lives, people have things set up. It's not like we're all sitting around going, when's eBay Open going to be? And I'm going to keep my whole summer clear just for eBay Open whenever it happens to be. On that over there. I did talk with Pico Books the other day. We had him on, or Pico Books. Yeah, we had him on the other couple of months ago. Great guest. He's going to be coming on again at some point. He's going to be setting up at Allentown Paper Show, and he's also going to the Boston Shadow Book Show. So any suggestions to make to Pico Book and to me for setting up at Allentown?
Well, Allentown's just the best show out there. It really is. In my opinion, it's the best show that I've ever been to.
Wow.
And probably the best show that I will ever go to. It's got so much variety, decent prices. I always have a great show buying and selling there. So it's my favorite show, and I do it twice a year. I'm always there. So all I would do is your first time in, bring a mixture, bring really good stuff, but also bring a little bit of lower end for the masses, because you don't know whether you'll get those big buyers to come to you since you're new there.
Right.
Because a lot of the big buyers come around and they go to the people that they know will have stuff for them. They know have saved stuff for them. So whether or not they'll hit your booth when you're in it, is hit and miss. But there are big buyers there who buy very high-end stuff, multiple $1,000 items, and there's definitely some serious buyers there.
Right. Good to know. Thank you.
Great place to buy bulk too.
Right. So Mr. Magazine had a problem. A person bought a TV guide and they wanted to cancel it, but they didn't use the eBay cancellation process. They sent an email, please cancel this. However, it had already gone out. So then they're getting all upset. I canceled this in time. Well, given that it's in the mail, you didn't. No, I'm going to say no, you didn't. So then Mr. Magazine said, return it. Problem solved, return it. But Mr. Magazine does not offer free returns. He has where they have to pay the return shipping. Well, they don't want to pay the return shipping for Mr. Magazine's error in not tackling the mailman and grabbing the package out of his hands or whatever he was supposed to do. So now they went and they filed a dispute with their credit card company, which we should win.
I would think so. Who knows?
Because they have the item.
It's small potato.
Yeah.
Bottom line, they have the item, and so we said to eBay is they have the item, and we have offered to them that we will accept a return on it. They don't want to return it. They want to keep the item and get their money back.
Get their money back. That's not how life works.
How about that violation with that Scene magazine? They turned down the appeal. They rejected it.
So Mr. Magazine had got in trouble with eBay for having a Scene magazine, which I don't know if you know what that is or not, but that is a free weekly magazine from Cleveland that tells, these bands are coming in town and these are the bars that have bands, and it's the weekly bar scene type magazine. And who was on the cover? Do you remember?
I think Penny Baker, a playmate, but I think she may have been underage. Like she might have been 17.
Oh, okay.
But in this magazine, she was on the cover, just her face, and she was 19 years old. So they said it was like protecting minors violation or something like that. But once she wasn't a minor, she wasn't nude or anything.
Yeah, there's no nudity in that.
But I
no.
think just her name is like a red flag. You know what I mean? So,
Which, if you think about it, if I know you're a big music fan, you like good music, so you remember Debbie Gibson and Tiffany. If they had one of those magazines with Tiffany on the cover when she was 17, how's that any different?
right.
Because it's literally just a headshot of this lady.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we appealed it and they said, nope, can't appeal it.
Oh, we had Fireball tonight, Eric. Well, I'll tell you something, Mr. Magazine. E-commerce Bites was talking about that,
Wow.
and not about that specific one, but eBay now has bots going around, and the bot is identifying what it sees as problems, giving people violations, and when you appeal, you're appealing to the bot.
Oh, man.
And the bot,
That's always right.
The bot doesn't care.
Nope. So I don't know if you have to kick it up to a human at some point, and if some human look at it, because the bot's just going to see the name.
Right.
So, but it is a known problem, and is what eBay has started to do recently on that stuff. Two boys wrestling at a high school match.
That's crazy.
Did you hear that? Flip and Rue got in trouble with two boys wrestling in a high school match.
Was it Paper Boy and Mysterious Benefactor?
Nice.
Yeah, you never know what they're going to pull on there. It's crazy.
No, that is absolutely crazy. Mr. Magazine got credit for 2 orders overseas. The person put in that they wanted to return before they even got. They never returned the item. And so eBay ended up closing it out, correct? And giving you credit for it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great one. He mailed something. They put in for a return before the item even got to them.
It's crazy.
Are you sure you don't want to come over to eBay and sell more?
That's exactly why I don't sell on eBay very much. I don't want to have to deal with people that I haven't vetted. You know, I don't want just random wackadoos buying my stuff.
Jeff, I should mail you the Scene magazine. Have her sign that one. That would be cool. I would keep that. Frame it up.
Can't sell on eBay. Never framed
exactly,
up. Yeah. Random Neighborhood Kid has a life, which I can't believe. So it's going to be a while before we get the 2 videos up. Madison Bachville, I did a haul video for Madison Bachville. It was real rainy. I'll give that part away. But we got a haul video from that will be coming up at some point. And then I got into a book hoarder house, not the mystery book house, a house that I had to be 10 to 20,000 books in the house. Literally books everywhere. The owner allowed me to take some video of the house. So it's absolutely amazing house. Unfortunately, I couldn't deal with all of this stuff. I just couldn't take it away. I don't have the warehouse or the wherewithal to take 20,000 books away. Jackie Jaff asking where you sell, which I believe you said, but you can repeat it for him.
I sell on Facebook, I sell on eBay, and I sell on Whatnot. But I also have a brick and mortar antique store in Denver, Pennsylvania. So all you have to do is look for Vintage View Antiques. I'm on Google. I have reviews.
Nice. And I will say this, and I know we talked about this, and we got about 7 minutes left, just to let you know. I know we talked about this in the interview that we did. Do check that out over the Allentown Paper Show. We'd have the interview series over there. That I had just sent you a photo album, and in my head, I thought it was worth a certain price, and you brought a box of stuff for me, and you said, I'll give you $100 for the photo album. And back in my head, I thought it was worth $200. And I said, so you were paying 50%. And I said, that works. That is absolutely wonderful. So very, very easy to deal with and very, very fair. And
yeah, that's my MO. I pay half of what I'm going to sell it for, and I sold it there at the Allentown show for $200. So,
and I was happy because obviously I made money, but I knew that you would get more out of it than I would.
Right.
Because and when you come down to it, what I'm going to sit there and pull teeth and try to sell it for $1.25, or I can get $100 from you, and you can move it for $200.
Or it ends up selling for $20 on Whatnot.
Yeah, there's always that as well. There's always that as well. Yeah, but and again, so if you do have photos, if you do have photo albums, all that stuff, Vintage View is easy enough to find out there. How do people get in touch with you? As I say, you're easy to find.
Like I said, I'm on Google. Vintage View Antiques in Denver, Pennsylvania. The phone number for the shop will pop up there. I don't generally give out my cell phone number, but the phone number for the shop, they can leave a message if they have anything they want to talk about, and I always get back to people.
Yep. So if you do have photos that you're looking to sell, good guy over here, and I've dealt with them, and I would continue to deal with them in the future. So I sell $100 items for $50. I'm broke. There you go. You're not selling enough of them, Eric. Volume.
Yep.
It's all about volume. Exactly.
So did you see the Bill Walton auction?
No.
33 Grateful Dead passes, all backstage passes that were given out to Bill Walton.
Cool.
They thought they were going to sell for $1,000. They sold for $3,910. So just over $100.
It's not bad. I mean, really,
that's really
That's really not bad at all. No.
But when they said the $1,000 to start with, I'm like, that is so low.
So
I
cheap, yeah.
buy that.
Yeah.
Yeah, $30 a piece. Yeah, give me them.
And did you see the stage used symbol, which was autographed by not all, but lots of the members of the band, including Jerry Garcia, sold? And it was, they'd given it to Bill Walton. $39,375 for that.
That sounds about right.
Cool.
Yep, signed by all those guys as well. Hey, I learned something new about you the other day. You used to be an actor.
I did.
You've
At one point, many moons ago.
You've acted interested this entire show. So congratulations for you on that one.
You're pretty good, right?
Very good. You had me fooled.
You do act like you're enjoying it. Yeah, good job.
So what did you act? Grizzly.
I did a lot of musical theater.
Crowd here. They're asking
I did a lot of musical theater. I did some commercials, and I also did murder mysteries with the Murder Mystery Company. I traveled all over the country for stuff like that. But yeah.
Wait, no, he told me you were the stunt double for Tim Allen in the Santa Claus. Is that a possibility or no? Wouldn't that scene where they were in a sleigh high in the air and they didn't want
that would be way better than my acting.
People love how laid back you are, though. You're getting big props over here. Big props.
Yeah, I'm about as chill as it gets.
Definitely.
Life's too short to be uptight.
And then Schmidt mentioned, and I don't know if you know that she mentioned this or not, that you also used to sing.
Yes, I did. I was in a band. I also did a lot of musical theater. Now I sing once a month at karaoke. That's it.
Were you a crooner or?
No, I'm a rocker. I'm a belting tenor with a rock voice. But I can sing pretty. I've sung some very beautiful Broadway songs. I'm a belting tenor. So if it's a powerful song, if you want a powerful singer, I got that covered.
Well, one of these times, maybe at Allentown, because I'm sure Schmidt will be having things here. We'll do some interviews. Maybe you and I will break into a song. I'm well known for my singing as well.
Yeah, rap. He's really good at rap. Cardi B.
Oh, yeah. So we'll work something or other out over here. Fans of the show definitely know.
We do a karaoke or something on there.
Fans of the show know how well I sing, so should be a lot of. Sometimes
that's what we need to do after Allentown is go to a karaoke night.
Mrs. Papergoy will be there with you singing her little heart out, and I'll be like, we do Turn Around Bright Eyes by Bonnie Tyler, and she sings for 45 minutes, and then I go, turn around, and then she sings for 45 minutes, and then I go, turn around.
It's a nice, easy one.
I can handle that. Although I need the words on the cue card. All right, as we're winding down over here, my friend, we were talking before, and you had mentioned, really when it comes down to it, the secret to success. And you all this time you've been doing this, you've kind of got it all distilled down. The secret to success, the things you need to do, and the thing you, no matter what, you do not do to be successful at reselling. So I'm going to turn the floor over to you here. And hopefully you can give us a little bit of advice that all of us can follow, and take it away, my friend.
Well, yeah, I've been doing this for a while, and I've figured out a few things over the years, like things that work, things that don't. And so many people are really greedy and stingy with their information. I always try to share information with people. I'm a big fan of we're all in this together. We're not competition. We should all be able to eat, essentially. So probably the biggest single thing that people do wrong or that people don't do is, let's see, they pretty much just.
What? Oh, I ended it though.